Welcome to your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot over here on Astrology Motivation. That's my second channel. Born Without Boundaries Tarot is the premier channel, so check that one out if you're finding me here. That's where 12 videos a week that are zodiac specific readings get uploaded, as well as their counterparts, the extended readings, where we just take a deep dive into details. So I'd love for you guys to join me over there. Check it out. Over here is where I do live daily tarot card readings, so you can join the chat. I love the conversations that people have here. You guys are fantastic. Hi, Soul Warrior. Yeah, it's not a question and answer kind of thing, but if you are here, if you were drawn here, if you're just curious about being here, the message is for you. It's going to answer the questions that you have floating around in your mind. And then, chit chat it out. What's up, Charity? We're always going to start with, I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader. So I always start with astrology and then we get into the tarot card reading. I use Llewellyn's Witch's Date Book. This is not a paid anything. I just love this book. It's a date book, and it tracks the astronomy, like what's going on with the planets, the planetary movements, in a really basic, with really basic symbology. In a really basic way, and it just keeps you up to date with how when everything's happening, what's going on. And it's paper, and I'm from the generation 1996 I graduated. Google premiered, I think, in 98 or 99, so I'm still from like the card catalog generation. I like paper. I like to have tangible stuff. I don't know if they sell a digital version, but every single year I get their yearly. No, you don't have to be a witch. I myself am not a Wiccan, but you don't have to be a farmer to buy the Farmer's Almanac. You know, it's a tool, and it's a very, very good one. And if you're interested in astrology and you're interested in the planets, or just interested in life around you in general, this is a great introduction to help you track where all the planets are, what's happening with them, if they're direct, if they're retrograde, basics like that. And then it also talks about different kinds of global holidays. So Christian holidays, Hebrew holidays, Muslim holidays, Wiccan holidays, Hindi holidays, all Buddhist holidays, all different kinds of holidays or celebrations. They'll introduce to you in this book, and they'll give you recipes, they'll give you spells, they'll give you overviews of the holidays. Really just wonderful, wonderful information in here if you're curious at all about different cultures or different traditions. Just a great resource. I love it. And so I always start with it. Today is Tuesday the 10th, and the astrology is quite exceptional as well as challenging right now. At 7:47 a.m., and that was like 4:30 in the morning out here on the west coast of the US. Mercury went retrograde, and we're going to talk about that. And then Jupiter went into Aries, it's going into Aries. It's a couple hours away. That'll happen at 7:22 p.m. on the East Coast. That'll be 4:22 out here on the West Coast. It's about to go in. The color of the day is gray. Mercury is retrograding until June 3rd. We do have a full moon. I kept saying new moon because I think intuitively I know this is what has to happen for the new start, and it really does. But it's a full moon in Scorpio. The moon is in detriment in Scorpio, which means there's a lot for it to get rid of, a lot for that it hasn't even dealt with. And usually when you deal with something, you have to get rid of it, and you have to deal with it. This is a trying period. And all this week, I've talked about this. The moon is hitting a lot of squares to a lot of different planets, and a lot of oppositions to a lot of different planets. And it's not in the best position. So I think Cancerians are going to feel it a lot right now, leading up to especially its fall position in Scorpio. There's a lot of stuff that we're feeling right now that we're not going to be comfortable with. Let's put it that way. Geminis, I think, are doing very, very well. Mercury is home. And even though it's retrograding, what better place to retrograde than in your own home, right? A sense of because retrogrades are really a time of reflection. even relaxation, slowing down, and revisiting things. So, what better place than when you are go back home? This is like the best place to do it. So, I think Geminis are doing really well right now. Mercury is still trying to Pluto, which is a really strong energy of understanding depth, understanding information, like deep information, psychological information, the primal side. We'll never completely understand our primal side, but this gives us insights into what's making people tick beneath the surface, and also given the energy to find out. And with Mercury retrograde, this is wonderful because it means we can actually take our time to actually understand to the best of our ability what we're going through. So this Mercury retrograde couldn't come at a better time, is what I'm saying. It's actually a real blessing because we need this slowing down period. And we also need those telltale visits from people that we haven't talked to in a long time to close things up. I don't see a lot of people getting back together during the retrograde, but I do see people getting the chance to lay things to rest that haven't been. And just because we've put them away and not thought about them for a while doesn't mean they're not rotting there, and that we don't have to like open up that stinky closet and air it out. And that's kind of what's happening right now. There's a lot of things globally that we haven't been able to face. We've been able to feel it. We know that something's wrong, but we haven't been able to locate how to fix the wrong. And even if we could, we haven't done anything about it because we're so stuck on our comfort zone, right? And we've even gotten comfortable with discomfort because at least we know what to expect from it. We don't know what to expect when we open up this can of worms. And honestly, when you open up a can of worms, you got to expect worms. It's not going to be fucking pretty. But the point is, you got to get rid of them. You got to kill them. You got to get it out. You can't like let it continue to fester. And I think that's we're going to have to it's going to be an emotional week, but a necessary week. This is the push in the right direction for a direction that we should have gone on our own into, right? So for those of you who have taken the risks and have started to set up, the moving forward, there could be just great things that are happening for you. Mercury retrograde is just definitely not our enemy. I wrote a little thing about it. I wanted to read it to you. I copied it. What? Hold on. So let me just um I've learned not to push during Mercury retrogrades and things go much smoother. In the US, the whole mentality is to push, do, and then do more. That's why Mercury retrograde hits us so hard. Learning to accept the slower pace is key to success during it. You can't run through water or swim in asphalt. You got to move based on the energy. Retrogrades are a time for slowing down, introspection, and review. Most of our accidents occur because we're not responding to this energy, not because it's out to get us. And that's what we've got to know. When Mercury goes into retrograde, there's no reason to be horrified. And in fact, it's kind of a reason if we as a society, as a culture, as the globe, were connected to the astrology, we would celebrate retrogrades every 3 months. We would kind of not take vacations, but maybe go on leave. Like it's definitely a time to like go someplace where you can reflect and take a few. Retrogrades last what, 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. Can you imagine living in a society where every 4 months we were on vacation for 3 weeks? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Of the mentality not being, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta get this, we gotta, oh, that's what's wrong with us. It's not the Mercury retrogrades. It's that we're so disconnected from the energy. It's not even about even taking vacation. It's about honoring that the normal the normal cadence or of the body. It's like honoring that. It's just saying, things are slowing down and I need more time right now, and maybe this is a more emotional time. It's not that I'm not coming into work. It's that I'm not going to be pressed into deadlines or I don't know. I mean, deadlines are deadlines, right? But I'm not going to pressure myself if something takes 9 hours a day instead of 4 hours a day, because I got to move slower and things are going to move slower. And it doesn't mean that they're not going to get done. It just means that, I'm just going to move slower. And that should be built into us as a culture to accept that. And it's not. We're very much treat human beings and treat the world like it's robotic and that we can just program it. This is a very counterproductive concept that needs to change. There's a lot about it that has to change. Anyway, that's why we break. That's why we break. just to let you guys know. I know I'm rambling, but Mercury is now in retrograde. Yep, it's been retrograde since this morning. It'll be retrograde till June 3rd. And Jupiter is about to plop into Aries. And oh, what a joy this will be. It's going to be in Aries tonight. That was my son. I'm still very much interested. It's interesting when Mercury drops for some reason. When Mercury today, until Mercury goes back into retrograde, Pluto, which is in retrograde, there's a few hours where Pluto isn't trying to it. Those are the things that puzzle me most, and that I think is like the time period of, when you're throwing a ball in the air and you're going to catch it, but there's that vulnerable period where anything could happen in between there. And that seems to be, well, Mercury's already in retrograde, but that seemed to be in the early hours of this morning for the wild cards to come in. Did any of you guys experience that? Did any of you guys experience this surge of information or understanding, dreams even, that worried you, scared you, bothered you? Over here in the West Coast, the retrograde would have happened around 4:47 a.m. So it would have happened just before then, where it was like, I don't know, the trine wasn't there. And it was almost like for a second, Mercury was really lost in this, like it was churning around. And interesting, some sort of just not being able to comprehend something or understand it or articulate it. And it would have caused a lot of frustration. Globally, you may have felt it. And of course, Pluto is sextile to Jupiter, which is huge. Pluto sextile Jupiter is there's nothing you can't accomplish. There's nothing you can't get done. And with Jupiter in Aries, I'm telling you right now, Pluto sent in the atom bomb. It was tired of fucking around and, tiptoeing through shit. It was done. And especially Pluto retrograde is when it really realizes what hasn't gotten done and what needs to. Pluto retrograde is a little bit more subtle, but it can be much more dangerous because it's just that much more powerful in that it's like, why hasn't this been done? Why hasn't this been completed? Why is this still around? Why are you still holding on to this stuff? Oh, I don't give a fuck if it's painful anymore. It's brutal. And when it with its sextile to Jupiter and Jupiter about to drop into Aries, just watch it. Watch today Watch today. In the States, it's between, wherever you are, it's between 4 and 7 p.m. Watch where you are. Well, this shit really fucking, like, it's going to break through. And if there was anything that looked like the tower in the charts that I've seen in a while, this is a fucking tower. This is the shit that really, like explosion is all I can say. And I don't want an explosion. I don't want an actual bomb, but I do want you to understand that there could be, it's beautiful energy, but it may not play out as beautiful to you because it's definitely something that you haven't dealt with. And it's going to come get you. It's going to be, you're going to be face to face with it. Venus is actually an irritation. There's an irritation between Venus and Saturn. So there's something here pressuring us. It's like, but I don't want to value it. I don't want to give it value. Oh, but you have to. You have to, because I told you have to. But I don't feel it. You know, and that's kind of, I think, where the pressure point is going to be. This sense of, you have to value it because I say it's something you have to value. It's like somebody telling you have to value something that you don't really value, or you don't really want, or you feel obligated to because there's some sense of obligation there, but you know that you really don't. You know that your value system has changed. Watch out for that. Watch out for that, not in a warning. This is all very personal. But I think on a global level, something's fallen down. It's almost like the anvil is falling down, especially on what we value and it's almost like, in some ways, because Saturn is also square to the sun, we can't be ourselves. We know what's right and wrong, but it's like somebody saying, no, you can't say that. But why? You have you ever read the book To Kill a Mockingbird? You know the book? I mean, hashtag spoiler alert, but it's a fucking old book, motherfuckers. Like, most of y'all read it in high school. I know it's part of the curriculum. So, I mean, hashtag spoiler alert, but I don't think I'm ruining it by letting you know. This was the trial of the century for them. And it was very clear that the man they accused of the rape wasn't innocent, completely innocent. That it was actually rape within the family. But because the family was white and the man that was accused of rape was black, it would have changed. It would have been an upheaval of their entire culture for the judge to rule in favor of the black man. And so they accused him of, they were happy to accuse him of being guilty, just to let him take the fall for this horrible, polluted, and convoluted society that wasn't ready to change. Well, with Pluto sextile Jupiter falling into Aries, which is a brand new way of doing things, that fucking shit is about to get exploded. This is where we can finally get through. This is where they would not have charged them. They don't care if they're taking down society. Pluto doesn't care if it takes down society. If that society got to fucking go, it's going to fucking go. Pluto sextile Jupiter that's going into Aries, Saturn square the sun is no match for it. Saturn, what is it? Semi-sextile, whatever, to Venus. That's piddly shit. I know you don't want to see it. I know you don't want to hear it, but I don't give a fuck. You're going to see it. You're going to know it, and you're going to face it. There's nothing that can stop Pluto when it's on its rampage. It's what he's designed for. He takes out the unholy. That's what he does. And I'll tell you, Saturn can try as Saturn might to say, oh no, we've got to uphold these systems because look at all the ripple effect. I don't give a fuck. Ripple effect. I'm about to go fucking Krakatoa on your ass. Okay, I don't give a fuck about a ripple effect. We about to have a ripple effect for the rest of the year. We about to have a ripple effect for the next 5 months. I don't give a fuck about the ripple effect. Y'all need a ripple effect. And ironically, in the beginning of this year, we saw for the first time in a long time, I think the first time ever that science was able to record it, there was that explosion out in the Pacific, that volcano that erupted beneath the water. And they predicted that I think it was only since Krakatoa that something like a seismic wave, it went all around the world for a few days. It kept ricocheting back and forth with each other. It's the first time they ever caught it. Were able to record it because they had their equipment set up because of modern technology. But I'm telling you right now, like that was like a preview. That was a preview, and this is the debut of the movie. Okay, this is the premiere. This is the whole fucking movie. This is about, we told you what was going to happen. We don't give a fuck. This is the year of the ripple effect, bitches. And this is ground zero when the bomb drops. I'm going to tell you that right now. Anyway, and I don't think it has to do with war so much as mentality. The mentality of people that needs to fucking change. And the universe is done with our comfort zones. It needs us to actually be good and safe, and not safe, but good and healthy. And if our comfort zones are keeping us from that, it don't give a fuck. Pluto don't give a fuck. Pluto is legitimately honey badger. It don't give a fuck. It's not trying to be polite. It shows up. It shows up in its muddy boots and ripped jeans. It don't give a fuck how it looks. It's going to bring the stink to your front door, and it don't give a fuck. Why? Because you can't to actually get things done. And in sextile to Jupiter is going to expand that energy. Be like, yeah, you're right. In other words, they on the same side. Jupiter, the mentality of expansion, the mentality of the right thing and what God wants, is now sextile to Pluto. Like, you're right, man. We got to bring the stink out. People need to see this flushed out. This is the way we expand. We got to destroy some shit. We've got to, because there's no way to keep it in place and do this in a neat and tidy way. There's no way. And so it's not going to happen. And it's going to start with information, because Pluto is also trine to the North Node and Mercury. Trine to the North Node, it's like, Pluto's real comfortable with where we got to go. Pluto's real comfortable with the fact that it needs to get us there. It's real comfortable. It's going to push that button, and it ain't going to give a fuck. I'm just telling you that, right? Like legitimately, it's got to be coming through information or finally understanding something. And I would be really interested globally. This is going to have some impact, but I'm going to be interesting to see how the details of how it plays out, because this is when the end of To Kill a Mockingbird ends the way we would have wanted it to end. With the person who was actually guilty getting sent to jail. It's like, it's about, society's about to be exposed. And you're going to have to suffer the consequences of that, because Pluto's here and it don't give a fuck. I'm like, that's sort of what I'm feeling. So hi guys. I'm sorry that Jade, same to you. Oh yeah, Tom. Hi, Tom. No, Tom. Yeah. This is a general reading. So I try to explain it. If you are called to be here to participate, it's for you. This message is for you. It will answer the questions for you. You don't to ask specific questions. I do that on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. And I do that usually Fridays. I do a public one. And then I also have memberships. And if you join the memberships, you'll get members only chats where you can definitely ask me tarot questions multiple times a week. I'll do mini readings for you in those member only chats. So if you're looking for something like that, go check out the channel memberships over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Here, this is just a general reading. We go over the astrology for the day, and then we go over a general tarot card reading. So that's a good thing. Let's move on. The moon is in Virgo. The moon is in Virgo, which is very worrisome. The moon is very moody when it's in Virgo. It's very worried. It tends to worry a lot. If a little tiny thing is out of order, and I'm telling you, you're already starting to feel these quakes. There's no way to keep anything in order right now. So I could feel the moon in Virgo being triggered. And today, yep, the moon is square to Mercury. It's square to Mercury that went into retrograde. It's square to it. And it's also, it's also in opposition to Saturn. It doesn't like this it can feel like there's something unhealthy about what Saturn's trying to do, like not let things move forward. It knows something's unhealthy, but it doesn't know what to do about it. The moon is not the warrior, right? And that's the Cancerian problem. Crabs don't tend to be the strongest of animals. Everybody says, oh, they have those pinchers and stuff. They're bullshit. Like that's like one of the weakest defenses. Really, we're not offensive creatures. We're defensive creatures. We're just trying to protect ourselves. The moon will know, but it won't know how to do things. It won't know how to get it done. Right. And I think that's where there's a lot of tension here, is that Virgo moon is trying to work out, well, how do I articulate all this? And it's difficult to articulate, and it knows what it's up against. So I think psychically we know there's something coming, but we don't know what to do with it, right? Or we don't know how to help or make it neat and tidy. This ain't going to be neat and tidy. I hate to break it to you. Let's go into the cards. Hey, they were powerful readings last night. So Scorpio, Libra, Sagittarius, did y'all get to like check those out? Oh, I thought it was in Scorpio. What's in Scorpio, babe? What's in Scorpio? The moon isn't in Scorpio yet. The moon will be in Scorpio when it's full on Monday. So right now the moon is in Virgo. It's headed there. No affiliation. Hello, sure. What is that? Who's Jesselyn? Total warrior. Oh, Glasgow. Glasgow is a town, right? Isn't it a town in Scotland or Ireland, somewhere in the UK? It's a city in Scotland. Yes. My dad was from there, Scotland. The moon, Virgo, Libra, then Scorpio. Yes, I have moon in Scorpio. This will be a big one for you, babe. This will be very emotional. And you might not have much choice about just exploding all over people in terms of letting your feelings out. That's okay, baby. That's okay. Have your side conversations. Go get it. Here's your tarot card reading. Ooh, we have 3 of Wands. So something we invested in we're gonna start seeing a return on that. Or it's a good time, like we understand that it's a good time to invest in something. Maybe something that we learned, an education that we got is finally paying off. Imagine that. You pay $100,000 for these fucking college educations and it takes you years to actually use it. 7 of Wands, you never gave up. And that's kind of what it is. It's like the investment itself isn't enough. You have to keep going. You have to keep striving. And that's what 7 of Wands talks about, that we didn't give up. We invested in something and we didn't give up, which is why we're starting to see returns on it. Ace of Pentacles. So maybe there's a job offer. There's money coming in. There's opportunity coming in. It's definitely almost like God is like, here, let's see. Let's see what you can do with this, because, you've proved yourself competent. Ace of Pentacles. I don't think that the Ace of Pentacles comes to you unless you've proven that you successfully embodied or mastered all the character traits of the earth signs, which is, we know you're responsible. We know you're pragmatic. We know you can handle it. We know you can schedule it. We know you can cultivate it. We know you can secure it. And so there's a breakthrough here. there's a breakthrough. Like the ace comes at the end or the beginning, however you want to look at it. But it legitimately is the culmination of all the other energies that came before it. And now this is a reward for it. The Hanged Man is here. So somebody's been waiting for something for quite some time. Or you're there intentionally. This is like was a cocoon where you were just transforming. Also, the Hangman represents looking at things from a different perspective. And maybe it's when we turn ourselves upside down that we actually start to see we won't see the whatchamacallit. We won't see the opportunity until we've actually made ourselves look at something from in a different way. 9 of Pentacles is here, which is money coming in or money coming in that you've worked for. I love the 9 of Pentacles. It's also the single lady card. Maybe you're starting to see just how good it is to be single. And then we have 8 of Cups, which is our central energy. We're going to walk away from something. I think you're walking away from an opportunity that you thought you had to take. The opportunity is going to be presented to you, but ultimately, is it what you really want? Or were you wanting it just because you were scared to want or have faith in something else? This is walking away from what doesn't serve you. It's almost like you're going to get offered a job, but not want to take it. Something like that. 8 of Cups is here. This has to do with the full moon. So by the full moon, King of Wands is here, which is having faith in your own creative power, your own ideas, being just like they are real already. So why wouldn't I have faith in them? King of Wands is it could be male fire sign over the age of 35, somebody very determined, very proactive, very much maybe in creative arts. He would be well known for what he does because the King of Wands has mastered passion. He's mastered what to do with passion, how to focus it, how to believe in it, and how to manifest it into reality. So this is a very determined person, a very charismatic person, but also he's not fooling around. The king isn't fooling around. He's not some joker like the page or even the fucking knight. He knows exactly what he's doing. And this is why people look to him in some ways for leadership. And then we have 10 of Pentacles here, which is a new house, building a new house, creating a new house, creating a new home, or a new opportunity coming through. Like you've paved your way, maybe more money. 10 of Pentacles, wealth is coming to you. Ace of Swords is here, which means triumph, then victory. Like I said, when you earn the swords are one of the most difficult parts of the tarot deck. They're one of the most difficult experiences. So they could be the most painful experiences. There's other pain, definitely, but swords tend to be difficult. So when you've reached the Ace of Swords, I can guarantee you've been through a lot of shit and you've earned this victory. And this is like pulling the sword from the stone. This is the little orphan boy who thought he was nothing, pulls the lucky jackpot. And it isn't a jackpot because it wasn't up for grabs for anybody. It was really all just for him the whole time. Now it becomes clear. Now it becomes realized. Now it becomes actualized. You also become conscious of it. You become conscious of what to do. The clarity is there. So now we have 2 aces on the table. And then we have 10 of Cups. So you're going to get happiness. You have 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. 10 is you've succeeded. You haven't really necessarily been handed the ace yet, but it's on its way. There's the only thing after the 10 is the ace, right? And the Ace of Swords is preceded by the 10 of Swords, which is one of the most painful energies in the deck. Oh, thank you, Shah. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. That donation is huge. Girl, you are just, thank you. Wow. You are such a blessing. Thank you so much. I'm sending blessings your way, Shah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. How's that, Amanda? Time for reflection, but not too much. Wait, but not too much. Wait, Amanda. Mercury retrograde effect. Yeah. Where's Amanda? I'm a moon in Gemini. Should this be mild for me? I wouldn't necessarily say that to you, sweetheart. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Because a moon in Gemini really just impacts your emotions. And ultimately, you might get a lot of insight into what you felt, but this for you could be a really retrospective time where you start to go through, why did I feel that? And was it justified? Or, I mean, they were just feelings, but how did I react to it? Did I do my best at it? This would be the time when you might start learning lessons about where your emotions took you. You got a moon in Gemini. Plus the moon in Gemini, you will be sextile Virgo right now. Could be square it though. Could be square it. Depends on where your moon is, but it could be square right now, currently. Could be square to where the moon is right now. Once the moon goes into Libra, you'll be good. You'll be good for a couple of days. Maybe things will start making sense to you. Energy will start balancing out. Then we got the Judgment card as our last card. So this is on high. Something being dictated or something being announced. It's on high. It's a executive decision. Let's put it that way. That you get a chance. You get a second chance. You're a chosen one. There's a selection process here, and the ruling is in your favor. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. I really couldn't give you a better reading. I really couldn't. Let's get into the moon deck, since the moon is so impactful right now. New romantic cycle begins. This is Libra. Could be when the moon goes into Libra. And then we have, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Something hits its mark. Some arrow hits its mark. Bigger picture, I think, is it's almost like the romance of the bigger picture. It's almost like the romance of not seeing stuff so much in little tiny details or particulars anymore, but seeing the overall perspective of how this is impacting us. It's almost like we're able to get the aerial view right now, and that's what needs to balance us out. It's also about it's like your target has grown, so you got much more luck when it comes to today. At least you got a lot more luck when it comes to aiming. Now, romance doesn't necessarily mean falling in love. It just could mean an idealized energy. Like, that's what romance is. Romance is the ideal, things that are idealistic. So it's almost like there's a different perspective coming in terms of what the ideal is, and it's a lot more balanced, because we need more balance in general. What is this in regards to? You tell me what part of life? All right. Nope, it's not you. Haven't used these guys in a while. Spontaneous and intuitive creation and unconditional love. Unconditional love is, once again, a new romantic cycle. It's bringing back the two sides of ourselves. It's the masculine and feminine being in balance again, instead of separated from each other, because they've been very separated from each other. It's recognizing and realizing that we both have masculine and feminine energy. It's also a sense of things coming together for you. It's like everything just seems to fit into place and balance out. And there could be a really great big yes today for somebody, or setting up a situation where, yeah, this is where you're supposed to land, right here. And then we have spontaneous and intuitive creation is also here. So yeah, it's like a great idea, a huge idea. All of a sudden it just dawns on you, and trusting in it and going for it. And you should, because this makes a lot of sense. So whatever the brilliant thoughts you're thinking today, write them down, because you want to look more into this and you want to follow suit, because this is how Jupiter is going to strike. Its first strike is going to be through Mercury, through an idea or through a thought. and plant those seeds right now, because you will finish them and they will flower. So watch your thoughts, watch your words. They're important because they are your guidance system right now for what you should set your mind to and put your energy into. And then we have Libra is here, and winged messengers. This is Libra energy again, balanced energy, romantic energy. There's some sort of messages, maybe messages of love coming through the birds in the sky, or finally being able to rebalance and understand that the energy, the universe, the environment is trying to communicate with us. It's also our instincts. Our instincts are trying to communicate to us. And this is the energy of 5, which is things are shifting and changing based on that really kind of forward push of energy. It's like we're going to be drawn to it. It's almost like we don't have to worry about it. Chiron is in reverse in the past. So what that tells me is this has got something to do with something that wasn't healed, or maybe didn't get the chance, or was suppressed incorrectly or harmed, in the past. And so, holy crap, that's such a cute emoji, Tusha. I love it. Thank you so much. So it really is this kind of sense of, holy crap, allowing ourselves to not be ashamed of our instinctual side and where we're headed, what we want, and maybe realizing that we have to change our mind in order to make our life right. We have prosperity begins. What I tell you, prosperity begins is about planting those seeds. There's a seed that's been planted in your head, and it's a great fucking idea. As monstrous as it may sound, as big of an undertaking as it may sound, this is a good idea. You need to plant the seed and figure out how to cultivate it. You think you can't do it. You can. There's some little seed that's come through. We have keepers of the earth, which is all that natural energy around you, and break the chain, ancestral patterns. We're changing from what our fathers used to do, from what our mothers used to do, from what was traditional, but it's the keepers of the earth that are making us change. They weren't the ones that were our ancestors. This is us finally breaking tradition so we can get back to what's more truly human. Or if you look at it metaphorically, more truly ourselves. Because I feel like we think it's ourselves because it's the traditions that we were taught were right, but we were severed from ourselves. So now it's getting back to our actual selves, our primal selves, our true selves, getting back closer to the truth of the ancestors of the earth, the natural way of being, our nature. Moving away from what we've always done, the way things have always been, or like by an ancestor basically getting off our back so we can be ourselves. So we can be ourselves again. Like, let this fucking ancestor be like, peace the fuck out, motherfucker. Coming in. Deep emotional healing. Your heart is ready to heal from past experiences. You are willing to devote time and energy toward therapeutic care, giving yourself whatever you need in order to heal. Hey, guys. That's really interesting how it came out in the past. Any other cards before? We have Eagle, see from a higher perspective. That's what it's all being dictated by, is the Great Spirit. But it's almost like we're able to tap into and realize something that we couldn't realize with our own ego or our own selves. That's really important energy. Also, it's like, look up. Your highest self. If you could really believe in everything that you are and love yourself as much as God loves you, would you be restricting yourself? Would you be saying to yourself, yeah, I have to settle? That's kind of what it's saying. If we could see from the eyes of somebody who really loves us, we wouldn't be so down or worried or scared. We'd know we'd believe in ourselves. Prayer. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask. We are listening. And Archangel Raphael. Feel yourself surrounded by my emerald green light. I, Archangel Raphael, offer you healing and solace. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine eternally bright. Did you pray? Good day to pray today. Good day to pray. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for listening to me rant about the astrology. It was a big astrology day, so I just needed a little bit more time. Yes, Jackie, thank you for pointing that out to her. I write down all my decks. I'm not sure if I've updated it over here in Astrology Motivation, but if you watch the videos over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot, that has been updated. That has been updated. So that's the updated list. Thank you, Jess, for joining. Thank you, Shah, for your exceptional contribution. Oh, did he, Jackie? If you want to share, that'd be great. I have to leave the chat. Oh, bless you, Michelle. I get you. Thanks for jumping on. Thank you for jumping on. And thank you for sharing your lunchtime with us, or even a couple of minutes in the day. I appreciate it. I love hearing you speak. Oh, thanks so much, Casglow. Oh, thanks, Jess. Hey, Cynthia. Taco Tuesday. Forgot it was Taco Tuesday. Thank you for reminding me, girl. Oh, it's the little things, man. I love you guys so much. And stay tuned. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where we will be. I will be debuting Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, all on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you. Jackie got me to stop drinking and healed my heart. Oh, God bless. With a hug, it was amazing. Jackie, that's beautiful. And you know what I say to my angels sometimes? I say, God, I just need a hug right now. I say it's all the time. And it's like that hug can heal so much. That is a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing it, Jackie. And congratulations. I need help stopping so much sugar and so much candy. It's exactly where I go to get stressed. So maybe that's my prayer. I love you guys. Oh, I'm gonna just keep praying for a hug. I love you guys so much, so much. This is just a great day. Today's a very good day. And yeah, I will get back to you tomorrow. Well, it's a good day to check in tomorrow to see how everything dropped. I love you guys, and I'll see you then.